What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, aka the King of Soul, and today we got some Jordan 1s to look at. The Air Jordan 1 the Retro Low. Now this is the collaboration with Travis Scott. They're calling this the Olive colorway. Before we get into the review, do me a favor. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. If you do dig the content, also hit that share button. These videos that we do on this channel are strictly for review purposes. So if you do happen to have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to drop those down below. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the review. So this sneaker, this time around, they did actually give us this creamish olive kind of, color box. On the box lid, you do have like this brown olive Nike brand logo here on the box lid. Pretty much throughout the entire packaging, you do have more of that Nike brand and logos. Other than that, nothing really too much to highlight. The bottom of the box, not really too much going on, but you do have the Nike branding information here, and you do have some copyright information down at the bottom for those that do care about that. There you go. Now the box label on the sneaker does read Air Jordan 1 Low OGSP. The colorway says black, sail, medium olive, and then muslin. So when you do open the box, nothing really too special going on up under the box lid. You do have more of that, olive color up underneath. And then you do have this pink paper here. And this is kind of standard with most Travis Scott releases. So you do have the Air Jordan Wings logo, the Nike brand, and of course you have the Travis Scott, Cactus Jack and the Sycamore branding there. Up underneath you do have this white wax paper here. So it did come double wrapped. But up underneath you're met with the sneaker itself. Now this sneaker does kind of remind me of those Travis Scott mochas that we actually received a few years back. I mean, it's pretty much the same color blocking. It's just that, they actually decided to go ahead and give us this hit of green olive this time around. But not really a low top sneaker guy, but something about the Travis Scott sneakers I've always liked. It's just the materials that they use, even subtle things like the wax laces and everything. I just feel it's just something that's pretty solid for us to to go after as sneakerheads, to kind of go crazy over and kind of hype beast the situation. But just looking at the sneaker, it does look what you'd expect from most Air Jordan 1 Low sneakers. Nothing really too special, just it's just the reverse Nike swooshes on the sneaker. But yeah, man, excellent materials, excellent colorway. So yeah, man, let's go ahead, let's do it. Air Jordan 1 Low OG. This is the Travis Scott Olive. So let's go ahead and take a look at the right sneaker. So from hindsight, it does look what you would expect from most Nike Air Jordan 1 Low sneakers. The sneaker itself is pretty much composed of this nubuck material going throughout the entire upper. On the lateral side of the sneaker, let's start with the mid portion. So you do have this hit of black nubuck for the touch. It does feel kind of excellent and pretty decent quality. So you do have this hit of black in the mid portion. You do have this oversized white Nike swoosh here, and it does have the white stitching. Going towards the back heel, you do have this transitional nubuck suede material and olive, and then you do have more of that olive color going towards the front toe box area, and then up here by the lace holes. The midsole of the sneaker, it is pretty much in that cream muslin off-white kind of color there, and then you do see the hit of the olive coming from up underneath. The midsole is pretty consistent with most Air Jordan 1 Low sneakers. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the lateral side of the sneaker. Switching gears, going over towards the front portion of the sneaker. So let's start with the toe box. You do actually have more of this black nubuck here. Excellent. It is transitional, and it is perforated, so it does have these holes punched through the toe box. And then you do have this olive mud guard here, and it does have the olive stitching, and that stitching is pretty consistent throughout the sneaker. Going up towards the tongue of the sneaker, let's start with the laces. So the sneaker does actually come with these flat black laces, and it did come like, you know, unlaced like most Air Jordan 1s, but I actually like, you know, laced mine up for the video. But it is like, you know, these flat black wax laces here, and they did actually give us a few lace options, and I'll go over those like toward like the end of the video. The tongue of the sneaker, just like most Air Jordan 1s, you do have this nylon mesh material, and it is kind of like, you know, thin to the touch. Going towards the upper portion of the tongue, you do have this white tag, and they do have the Nike Air branding there in red. And then if you kind of like look closely on the tongue towards the right side of the sneaker, they do have this area here where it is like, you know, stitched, and then it is like, you know, in black. It's a black tag, and it does have the Cactus Jack branding over there on the side, and I know they actually did have that on most of the other Travis Scott releases. Going towards the medial side of the sneaker, pretty consistent with the other side, so you do have like hits of like, you know, the Olive, Nubuck, and then black in the mid portion. The Nike swoosh over on this side this time is actually in that olive, and it is like, you know, smaller. Remember, again, on the other side it's kind of like a bigger Nike swoosh. And then going towards like the mid portion, if you look closely, you can see that it does have like, you know, that Cactus Jack branding there in red. Other than that, you do have like, you know, this cream muslin midsole, and then of course you see the olive showing up from up underneath, and then you do have more of that olive nubuck up here going by the lace holes. Now, the sock liner of the sneaker, or ankle collar, whichever way you want to call it, it is like, you know, in that olive coloring there. Going towards the back portion of the right sneaker, they do have this red Air Jordan 1 Wings logo. Excellent quality. It is there in red. And then you do have more of that olive nubuck on the heel, and then of course you can see more of that midsole situation here. But it is stitched excellent quality, man. Like, they did their thing on this one here. Other than that, nothing really too much going on. Just like let's take a look at the bottom portion of the sneaker. So what you would expect from most Air Jordan 1s, nothing really too special going on there. You do have this circular traction here, and then you do have the Nike branding right there smack dead in the middle. And then of course, like, you know, this bottom heel is consistent with most Air Jordan 1 sneakers, so nothing really different. It's just the same standard Air Jordan 1 bottom. This time they actually just gave it to us like, you know, in that olive color blocking. So let's take a look at the lace options of the sneaker. So they actually did give us, and they all do appear to be all flat wax laces. So you do have like this red, you have this olive green, and then you have this white lace options. Me personally, I feel like you can't go wrong with the olive, or, well, actually, looking at the sneaker, you can't go wrong with any of the lace options. It just depends on like what kind of outfit you may have going on that day. But for like the stock, I do like the black laces, and then like my second option will probably be like, you know, these green laces. But yeah, man, I do love the fact that they do actually give us these, like, you know, lace options. They didn't give us like, you know, the pink laces that they typically give us like with most Travis Scott sneakers. But nevertheless, that's pretty much it. Only thing that I really didn't go over on the inside of the sneaker, the insole, it is that olive color, and you see the Travis Scott branding there in white. The left sneaker, it is pretty consistent with the right. Everything is pretty much like, you know, the same as far as like, you know, build and placement of everything. The only thing that's a little bit different is that on the back, on the heel of this sneaker, they actually did give you that Travis Scott sickle mode logo. They flipped, you know, did like a flip-flop situation, but the sickle mode branding is there in red stitch. And then on the insole of this sneaker, it is green olive, and it does have the red Jordan Jumpman logo. And further into the insole, you could actually see the Cactus Jack branding there in white. So yeah, man, excellent sneaker, man. Excellent quality, man. Yeah, this one here was decent. If I was actually to rate this sneaker here, I would definitely go ahead and give this one a 10 out of 10, man. Excellent concept, excellent colorway. I don't really feel like nothing was necessary that they need to change or anything like that. I mean, I mean, maybe they probably would have gave us like the pink laces or something like that just to keep it consistent with other Travis Scott releases. But it's not really necessary. You could always just like, if you wanted it that much, just get you some flat pink laces and, hit the ground running. But yeah, man, 10 out of 10 on this one. As far as comfort, the sneaker does fit just like any other Air Jordan 1. To me, Jordan 1s tend to like, fit, true to size. I don't really foresee a reason for you to have to go up or half size or down or anything like that. It just fit like, true to size for me, to each his own. But other than that, that's pretty much it. But I definitely want to take the time to shout out the vendor who actually gifted me these sneakers to get on the channel to review for you guys. But I also want to encourage you guys to stay engaged like always. I definitely appreciate the support, but I can be reached on all social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even here on YouTube. Everything is at the King of Soul. But before we go, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a 360 in the B-roll like I always do. But there you go. Air Jordan 1 Low Travis Scott Olive. So there's the front of the sneaker. There's the lateral side of the right. Let me go ahead and get the laces out the way. There's the lateral side of the right. There's the lateral side of the left. There's the bottom portion of the sneaker. Again, standard Air Jordan 1 bottom. They just went with the olive, color on this one. There's the medial side of the sneaker. And then there's the rear. But again, I do thank you guys for taking the time to tune in like always. But until next time, see you later.